something about the Jefferson Highway coming into Kansas City, which is Southwest Boulevard and Miriam Lane. As I was trying to figure out the Miriam Lane part coming into the city, it's all blocked off by road construction, so I kind of decided there wasn't much of it there to worry about. Taking the doggies to the doggy park. Testing out my 5-camera setup. I think I actually have 5 cameras going now. So, and you know, of course, Stella won't cooperate, so it's still in the co-pilot seat, which is where one of the Ryko is aimed at. Kind of holding her there. You know, the views and perspective coming into downtown are really pretty, even though this has always been kind of an industrial strip as long as I've known it. And you know, this was at one time, before there were numbered highways, the Jefferson Highway access from the Kansas side into Kansas City. And right here is a Kansas City terminal roundhouse where all the engines that used to switch Union Station were housed in the Kansas City Terminal Authority. This was the coach yard where all the they would store all the passenger cars for Union Station, and they would shuttle them back and forth and build their trains for, you know, destinations out of Union Station. A lot of people don't realize that Kansas City Union Station is one of the, I think now it's the 3rd largest train station in the country. I could be wrong on that. The reason why Kansas City had such a large station, even though it didn't have the traffic that warranted that, was because Kansas City, being in the middle of the country, was a huge stopover point. Kind of like, you know, airports, you know, you have big layover hubs, and you have those are some of the biggest airports, because they have so much traffic going through them. Not necessarily that where they are is a destination. And that was true of Kansas City. And, you know, coming back into the crossroads, not only was it a crossroads of automobile traffic, but before that it was a huge crossroads of rail traffic. And you'll see a couple of old hotels that served Union Station, passengers who had to lay over overnight or were coming into the town or whatever and staying here. And there's a yellow building just north of Town Topic on Baltimore Street. At one time, the owner of it had opened up a little art gallery, called it the Hemingway Gallery. Hemingway Gallery. Author Ernest Hemingway used to work for the Kansas City Star one time, and that yellow building was a police building, and it was kind of the police building that serviced Union Station. So whenever there were unruly passengers that they would arrest on trains, or people who were acting up or being drunk or whatever, unruly or crazy in Union Station, they would haul them up to that yellow building. And Ernest Hemingway used to like to go in there and hang out in the cells. I guess the story goes that he was he befriended some of the cops of the jailer or whatever, and they let him hang out in there and stay in the cells and gather stories from the prisoners in there. And he gets some interesting stories from them, which is pretty dedicated, really. I don't know too many reporters these days that want to go hang out in the jail just to get interesting stories. Of course, these days in the news business is so fast and everything that this is the crossroads. When we're on the Jefferson Highway and the crossroads, And, you know, Crossroads is named after the crossing of many highways, including Jefferson Highway, and one known as the National Old Trails Road. Let's see if I get passed by the Hemingway here. Cut up one block. Town Topic, little restaurant, burger joint. We used to have, I believe, 5 of them. There's one on Baltimore here. This is, we're at 19th in Baltimore, where Southwest Boulevard turns into 19th. And that yellow building right there, I don't know if it can be seen, is the Hemingway, or the old jail that used to service the Union Station. Oops. And a lot of people know this building here is the former TWA headquarters under Howard Hughes. The rocket on top was a gift from Howard Hughes to Walt Disney, who was from Kansas City. And it was given to Walt Disney so that he could put it in his World of Tomorrow exhibit. It's brand new. Disneyland in Anaheim, California. I believe Howard Hughes made 2 rockets, one for Disney and one he kept for himself. It's supposed to be exhibited into space. Kind of the dream of it was called the Moonliner. You could travel to the moon on TWA. That's the idea. And I believe this was the headquarters for a while. Not this, because this is fairly new, but the building on the corner behind us. It was headquarters for a while, and then was a place where they trained stewardesses for quite a while. TWA was headquartered in Kansas City. It started in Kansas City at the downtown airport. Now we're traveling up Main, and they just put streetcar service in again. Last time Kansas City had streetcar service was, was it Kansas City Public Service? And it was 1958 when they took it out. And for quite a while they'd had plans to put streetcars back in, but back then, you know, everybody worshipped the automobile. And worship of the automobile has brought about a lot of changes to our landscape, not all of them good. And among some of those changes is that this idea of urban renewal, being that we would tear down everything we didn't think was new enough or modern enough and make parking lots out of it. And so a lot of downtown Kansas City is just kind of empty space. They've started trying to refill it in, you know, these new developments like the Power and Light. You know, now they've come back to streetcars. They were good ideas all along, but we just kind of tossed them out for worshiping the automobile, one sole source of transportation. It's supposed to be the part of the American dream, makes us all free, but in many ways it made us all slaves. You know, now everybody has to work harder to maintain automobiles so that they can go to work, make payments on those automobiles, and you know, and live out in the suburbs, make payments on those houses and everything else. It's an endless cycle of. Everybody really knows that's not what the American dream is all about. The American dream is really about children having a good, safe place, good schools to raise your children, good neighborhoods. That's what the American dream has always been about. Middle class, anybody who works hard enough can do it. I subscribe to some websites, like Nomadic Fanatic and different people who are questioning the American dream, who say, yeah, I want to live in an RV and be nomadic and travel all over the world. And there's nothing wrong with that, There's plenty of room in this world for different ideas like that. The only thing is that eventually a lot of people, not everyone, a lot of people will settle down and they decide, urge will strike them, I want to have children. And then when you have children, your perspective changes on things. You start going, well, if I want to have children, I start thinking about things I've never thought of before, like where are they going to go to school? What kind of neighborhood are they going to grow up in? I know there's some families that I've seen who are raising their kids on the road. I don't know how they're doing it. It's not like having a cat or dogs on the road or anything. Children are different. They really need stability. They need a good, loving family, mother, father, usually. And they need stability. And a lot of us kind of don't think about that in our youth. Just play around, we party hard, whatever, but the time comes when we need to settle down if we're going to have children. And that's not for everyone. And so when people ask about the American dream and what is the American dream? So many people forcing me to make these decisions. Like, well, it's not people, it's not society, it's not even America, it's not even American. It's just being human, being a human being. There's certain hardcore facts of life about being a human being. And if you want to have children need stability. And that's not like a philosophy or a fascist idea or anything, or we're trying to force that down your throat, or nobody's trying to force that down your throat. It's just reality. It's what a lot of people work hard towards. And unfortunately, when people come along and they say, hey, your American dream is cramping my lifestyle, man, and people kind of get offended at that and see it as a threat. Well, you have to understand why from their perspective. In the end, it's not a conservative idea, it's not a liberal idea, it's just the way things are. Right, Jimmy? But I think Jimmy knows where he is. Where are we, Jimmy? You came up to the front seat on your own. There must be something here you want to go to, huh? Oh, look out with the bird in the road. Yeah, all right. Where are we, Jimmy? I see cars. Are there people? It's been really hot, so people have been kind of like staying home. I don't know. I don't see people. Oh, there's somebody. Hey, it looks like Bernardo is here. All right. All right, doggies. Oh, nope, that's not Bernardo, I don't think. Somebody, an imposter. Where are we, doggies? We're at the dog